Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, good morning, good morning, sunshine. What is it? I almost said Tuesday, but it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you all. Listen, isn't it tomorrow Thanksgiving? Like, how are you guys feeling? I know yesterday we went over some of the things y'all wanted to cook. How are you doing as far as ingredients are concerned? Do y'all have everything you need for your beautiful holiday? I'm so excited to get some recaps from you guys on how your festivities went. I just had to do a quick outfit change actually because I was wearing this like gray hoodie. It's one of those days. And I'll explain why. I was just wearing this gray hoodie, but like light colors do not reflect well against like my camera. So I had to like run and change. Guys, remember how I told you I was going to go watch Wicked 2 last night? So what I did was I went to the gym and then after the gym, I went to watch Wicked 2. I didn't have time to do sauna after my like lifting session. No big deal, right? So I watch it, and I was expecting for it to be absolutely atrociously bad because my friends who adored Wicked 1 told me that they hated Wicked 2. And y'all already know I hated Wicked 1. I found it so boring. I thought that they sang way too damn much and the plot didn't advance, right? So here I am watching Wicked 2, like, listen, I'm doing this for my girl, like, don't get mad that you're going to be bored, but I actually really found myself enjoying it. I thought that the message was so much more profound in Wicked 2 than in Wicked 1. So everything was going well. Like we get through the first hour and stuff, but then like there's this certain moment in the film where things stop advancing. They just keep singing. It's kind of like the first one where they just keep singing, but they're not doing anything beyond singing, you know? So all of a sudden my eyes start getting heavy. One eye is closing, then the other eye, then both eyes, then you're doing that, and then your head is tilting. Y'all, I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I seem to have a habit of falling asleep during movies. It all started with The Three Musketeers. Then it was Emilia Perez. Then it was like something about the architect who built the La Défense here in Paris. Like so many movies these days that I'm falling asleep. I'm like, is this me getting old? Am I going to have a hard time chewing solid soon? Because how am I falling asleep? Like, even if I would get bored by things in the past, like I would still be able to, like at least suffer through it. But these days I am just going to fall asleep. I don't think that the lifting session helped at all. Cause y'all know, like being in the gym, it wears you out. Right. So sorry. But again, I actually did enjoy the film. And I think that if it comes out on streaming, I would probably watch just to fast forward to the part where I fell asleep. Obviously, I don't want to tell you guys where I fell asleep because it might be a spoiler for some people. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It was about an hour and something into the movie. Sorry. Sorry, Wicked crew. Sorry, but I couldn't. It got boring. Good morning to you all. By the way, we've got Gwen. She had the scariest moment last night. My babysitter was in the urgent care department. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I told my stepmom about a rug allergy and avoided disaster. Oh my God. How was she doing today, Gwen? I'm so sorry to hear about that. Like, absolutely terrifying. Jeez. Good morning to you as well, Gala and Malen. I did see some headlines about it. I've never actually watched Seeking Sister Wives, so I don't really know these people, but I wasn't surprised. Listen, those polygamous relationships are they're the epitome of misogyny and pick-meism. No offense, but that's what it all comes down to, in my humble opinion. And we saw that play out with the Sister Wives, with Cody and whatnot. It was a bunch of low self-esteem pick-me's who were raised in a sexist culture and religion to believe that men are up here and you're down there and you gotta share and be just so happy to have like even 5 seconds with a man type stuff. Meanwhile, they do everything. They cook, they clean, they raise the kids amongst themselves, they work, all that stuff. And the man does nothing. The man doesn't even have an emotional or any kind of connection really with the majority of his kids because he was not there. Anyway, listen, don't get me ranting about these sister wives. Do not get me ranting about these sister wives. Lord have mercy. So we do have an update from Gwen about her sister. She's feeling good today. She's got all the care she needed and she's resting now. Hallelujah. I told my mom to tag me in, coach, next time. I'm still in mama bear mode and grouchy. I hope everyone reading this will ask their family about rug allergies. Amen. There are some people who are allergic to, for example, like Advil. And so, if you tell somebody, oh, like I have a headache or whatever, they'll propose to you like whatever is the dominant like painkiller, right? Wherever you're at, without even thinking. And some people don't realize they have it's crazy. So good on you for being so aware, alert, and, handling that situation, Gwen. Good morning, Tadisha. Nice to see you again. Good morning, Benicia. Good morning, Cami, Amelia Bedelia, Acacia, Ronnie. Bonjour, Kelly. Not the spoiler, Cami. Well, congratulations to him. He seemed to be the fan favorite. So I'm happy for him. I heard that his sister had won 10 years ago. So that's really cool that is a family tradition. And Ronnie, you seem so excited about Thanksgiving Eve. I love that for you guys. Listen, my stomach's grumbling. I kind of want to celebrate Thanksgiving with y'all so I can eat. The food that y'all told me you were going to be making for Thanksgiving sounded so good. I wish. How do you think Nick Cannon is going to be splitting his Thanksgiving amongst all those children in all those cities and states, by the way? Speaking of me wanting to come eat with all you guys. Good morning, K Minor, Tamara, Kelly, Adriana, Two Snaps. Good morning, Crazy K. Good morning, Allie. Oh, she said she loved all of Wicked. I have read the book, saw the musical 15 times. Now that is a true Wicked fan. Jesus. And I saw the second act on Monday. Listen, I am so sorry to be disrespecting your movie, your franchise, but it put me to sleep. But again, I was working out hardcore just before watching it. So maybe it was even that had me so exhausted. And before that, I was walking. I did a 30-minute walk, to even get to that area. So yeah. Good morning, Chrissy. Good morning. Jamie, Latasha, Ray. Oh, it's so nice to have y'all here. Oh, Castle Magic is back. Where you been, boo? Oh my God. Are you still working on that spell for David Eason? Being found guilty? I love Thanksgiving dinner too, Ronnie. Listen, I love it too. It's up there with Christmas for me, and it's just mainly because of the food. Nick Cannon's going to stay with the first two. He's going to be with Mariah. Really? Oh, somebody check on Brie. Brie thinks she's in a full-blown relationship with him. She's like, we've been together 10 years. Oh, have you? Why does he have like 12 kids by, 14 different women if you've been with him for 10 years, Brie? The math ain't mathing, right? Latasha says, we are going to a restaurant for Thanksgiving. Oh, I love that. It's a tradition we've been doing for a few years. I love that. You know what I did for Thanksgiving once with my mother and my brother? And I think this was like when we had a PD day at school or something like that. We were in a different school from the others because we were younger. And I think she was a stay-at-home mom at this era. So it was Thanksgiving. And she used to like to take us to Zellers. And then at the time, do you guys have Zellers in the US or is this a Canadian thing? At the time, there was a section in Zellers, like a diner. And so we got to eat at the diner at Zellers. They had like this Thanksgiving menu with like, the turkey, the cranberry, the green beans, the stuffing, all that stuff, mashed potatoes. It was so good. So, and then, sometimes Swiss Chalet, shout out to my Canadians, having stuff there too is kind of fun. Oh God, listen, y'all are making me hungry. Is Jaleesa here, by the way? Because Jaleesa's been asking me for a while to talk about this Todd story. And it's just been so hard to fit it in with all of the other stories that we have and just everything going on. So I'm really glad to finally have a moment of reprise to get into this. I really hope she's here today so that we could really, really get into it today. Hey, Amy, where you been, girl? Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Two Snap says the 50 Cent documentary. Oh, I heard. I saw the trailer and I am so excited for that. Yes. Chip Chip Cheerio says Nick Cannon getting on an invite to Mariah's dinner is as likely as me getting one. She don't know him anymore, y'all. Oh, so you guys know. Listen, we got the tree. We went to a store called Truffle to go buy the tree and had it decorated and everything. So it's up now. Not in my apartment, though. Tamara says, I miss. Oh, listen, that's so cool that your mom used to work there. I loved Zellers. Shout out to my Zellers people. Zellers, what do you guys describe it as? Maybe like a Sears, but like the branding is red instead of blue, I guess. And then they had a diner restaurant inside of it. Yes, it was everything. The check. Exactly. It was so vintage. You had to be there. Do you guys know Rocky and Johnny's too? Was that like a franchise or was that only an Ottawa thing? Listen, I love like the nostalgia of it all. Yes. Good morning, Deshauna. And yes, we've missed you too. Amy, she's a teacher. Lord. Amy, shout out to you and teachers everywhere. That cannot be easy. You guys are absolute champions forming the next generation. I love it. You guys, listen, there's not too much going on in the celebrity world today. So we're going to have two topics for today's morning report. Okay. So we're going to be talking about how Todd was always Kandi's number one hater. The amount of videos that I have stumbled upon on the internet of this man disrespecting this woman to her face, acting cocky and everything as if he's the prize in the relationship. Like he really truly played the long game with her and I hate it. Like the conversations they were having as a married couple were really, really shocking to me. Like there was just always so much animosity and jealousy and hatred in the like undertones of their conversations. And the fact that these conversations were being had in front of Kandi's employees and friends and whatnot, it was so weird. Like, how come every time your man comes around, we have to have these like incel conversations, men versus women? Why aren't women catering to men? Blah, blah. Like, dude, like, what is with these like men and wanting women to be subservient so badly? Like, we're going to get into those videos and whatnot, but it's so weird to me. He was giving hardcore incel. And then after that, we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way. I watched last night's episode and I'm really excited to get into a recap with you guys. Okay. So why don't we start off with the Kandi and Todd stuff? Listen, I'm going to play you guys a bunch of videos that they posted out of their own free will on their social media. And you guys could really see like the amount of just kind of like weirdness and jealousy and envy and shadiness in Todd's comments to Kandi about herself, her body, whether or not she's, quote, past her prime or submissive enough and all that stuff. So take a look. And then when I play all these videos, we're going to talk about all of them on the flip side. Okay. So if you're watching me live, please go ahead, continue to leave your comments in the live chat. I'll have them up on the screen. And if you're part of my playback posse, let's talk about it in the comment section afterwards. Okay. So let's start off with this video.
So do you guys feel like because you guys, I guess, bosses or you do your own thing, do you feel like that keeps you from being as catering to your man?
No. I didn't say that.
Honestly, I think I got worse as I got older. I feel like.
You feel like y'all past y'all prime, like past y'all like fine days, or do you think with makeup and lipo and all of this stuff, you guys are able to extend being fine? Because think about this.
I'm smashing all Kandi's friends if we single. I'm knocking them all down.
Nigga. I would kill you. No. No. I gotta go.
Would you be mad if I was smashing one of your friends?
Okay, if we went together no more, yes, you're my man and my children's father.
Is there any friend you wouldn't even be tripping about? If
Nigga, don't ask like you think.
Not tell me. I'm just talking shit.
He ain't going nowhere.
And I was like, but babe, I'm happy now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's like.
And Ace and Blaze loves them.
Yeah.
I would smack the shit out of you. You bring someone around like kids.
Let me tell you how I am, right? The
You
same way that you just said that, that's exactly what I would be thinking. Like, let's say my kids were younger and they still, like your kids' ages, right? Your young kids' ages.
Right.
I would rather you date my baby daddy than some stranger. Because I know
you're the type of girl.
you're gonna take care of my kids. We're friends. We can do the whole hey girl, can you pick up Ethan and Ava? Like, I would rather that than some stranger.
Now listen.
But you wouldn't feel comfortable with me smashing the homies.
Hell no.
I would take good care of Ace and Blaze though.
Girl.
Like if you see me on the gram or TikToks with one of your own girls, you're like,
I would be done. I would be done.
and then you see Ace homies.
I can't sleep with her.
Girl, if you don't get out of here, hell no.
Well, guys.
You won't let me still do your hair and sleep with her.
Candy's
Hell
not gonna
no.
let me smash the homies, or the homies smash me.
Like, this man, this married man who has 2 children with Kandi, is over there talking about, oh, how would you feel if I smashed your friend right here? And her friend, listen, this girl would have been out of my freaking clique, my Kandi coded clique at this point, because she's like, listen, well, Kandi, like, I would take good care of your kids. Huh? And same for you, Kandi. Like, I wouldn't mind you getting with my baby daddy because I know you'd be there for my kids. Like, that is somebody who's got the evil eye on your life, who is coveting, your life, because she knows if you and Todd divorce, Todd is going to have some money because, listen, you're going to have to pay up. You're going to have to cough up for marrying down, right? That was weird. And listen, I still have 2 more videos, but, for now, I want to get into those ones because I'm still so, like, baffled by how happy and cheerful he was. Like, and a lot of these people's conversations, like Kandi and Todd and Kandi's people, like, he talks about breakups and like money, how that would be split in a breakup, and how he wants to sleep with her friends. And, there were other ones from Real Housewives of Atlanta when they were doing the specials with the men and everything. And he kept on saying, like, his top 5 of the Housewives ladies that he wanted to smash were Portia, and Portia. Like, he was saying this type of stuff, right? And we saw him when they did the slumber party or whatever, and Portia came in and he was like, Portia, like, this man has his eye on Kandi's friends, and he has had it on them for a really long time. And I feel like this is somebody who's trying to take her down a peg, right? Like, oh, when women, they're too successful, like, and that's the clip you're going to see next. He's saying things like, oh, when women are too successful and they don't share their money, they'll end up alone. Like, it's so weird that a man would be so interested and so obsessed, hey, princess, and just so coveting of his wife's money, right? And there's just a level of bitterness and anger that is so weird. You have an opportunity to make money, just like Kandi had an opportunity to make money. And she has put you in a position to make a lot more money, right? By investing in Todd's ideas. And even with that, he still harbored so much animosity, so much jealousy, so much hatred, and so much anger toward her, and it's really sad to see. And I feel like this is more and more common, where we're seeing women in relationships or marriages with men who quite literally hate them and see them as competition, or are jealous of them, or just want to destroy them. And I don't know what's going on. I find it to be so, so sad. It seems to be like an epidemic of some sort, right? And Akeisha, I think so too. I'm like, sorry, Todd, but what are you, like 5'1" or something like that? Like, we only know about you through your wife and whatnot, and you're talking about, oh, I'm gonna smash your friends, like, if we break up, and you're so excited. Like, that's so disrespectful and so weird. But at the same time, I do think that this attitude is partly Kandi's fault for opening up the marriage, right? When you're doing, and listen, no offense to y'all freaked out, freaky frogs watching my channel. I know some of you guys are freaky frogs. No offense to you guys, but I do think that when you're doing these threesomes, orgies, like, anybody can come smash my man stuff, like, it gives them a lot of cockiness and just like audacity and whatnot. Y'all saw that. Exactly, Sharjay. Isn't that weird? I would take good care of your kids. Girl, get the hell out of here. Put the makeup brush down. Put the hairbrush down. Get the hell out of here. Because that is a disgusting, weird thing to say, So I can't, you guys. I really can't. We saw this with Paula Patton and Robin Thicke. Their marriage was a freaked out marriage. They were smashing any and everybody, right? And then what happened? Even within those sorts of arrangements and dynamics, you are supposed to have boundaries and whatnot. But when you embolden people to that level, especially men, because these arrangements typically favor men, right? Oh, we're only smashing women. Oh, is that a coincidence, or is that, the patriarchy in action and whatnot, right? Come on, you guys, come on. It is absolutely ridiculous. And, they get too cocky. They start thinking that they're the ish because they've got you doing this stuff just to please them, just to keep a piece of them and whatnot. And they'll play in your face. They really, really will. You see this happen time and time again. This happened again. We saw this with what was that couple? Hey, you know, we were talking about her losing custody of her kids, the housewives of Orange County. Megan King, she did this with her husband. They opened it up. They were having threesomes. Guess what? He left her for the threesome partner. He married the threesome partner. Now he and the threesome partner, they got custody of the kids. You know, look at Todd and Kandi. Look at Robin Thicke and Paula Patton. Time and time and time again, this happens. So you got to be really careful, you know, playing those freaky games. Just saying. Oh my God, Kahara says, Todd is absolutely disgusting. Talking about if they break up, he would try to smash Kandi's friends. He's just exactly like at this point, like I would feel uncomfortable having this man around my friends because what do you mean you're coveting my friends? Like, that's so weird. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that shows that he was never really all that attracted to her. He was like, listen, I see a lick. I know a lick when I see one, right? And Kandi did help him level up. Kandi was a lick for Todd, right? Something to help him get to a higher position in life, which is what everybody was warning her about. And he was kind of low-key telling us this entire time. And it's so sad. Like, it's just so weird to even have the audacity to have this kind of conversation. But again, when you're opening up boundaries and testing them and whatnot with your relationship, like, oh, let's talk about other people we want to screw and whatnot. This is what you open yourself up to, pun intended. Pumpkin said, why is he sitting there with all of, exactly. He's always just there gossiping with women. Where is his job? Most men wouldn't want to. Guess that's a chance to be passive aggressive or to shade Kandi, period. You know, oh, like, do y'all think you're past your prime and now you have to use makeup and lipo to like get it back? That is about Kandi. Kandi's getting her makeup done. Kandi had lipo like twice. Okay. That is about his wife, who he hates. He never liked that poor woman. And that woman was madly, madly, madly in love with him. I don't understand it at all. I really, really don't. It's so sad. Like, it feels like the more love that you pour into like some people, I don't want to say men, because some women can be like this, but some people, the more kind of animosity and just weirdness and weird energy that they harbor toward you, you know, or they lose more respect for you or something like that. And it's just so sad and gross to witness. So I do have two more clips that I want to show to you guys. There's this one clip where he is talking about women need to share their money or they'll end up alone type stuff. And so guess who he's talking about? Anytime he's criticizing women and what they do or don't do, he's low-key talking about his wife, Kandi. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip, y'all.
So I'm gonna be real with y'all. For y'all women who are bosses and have all this money and got this extra shit.
Why are you saying it like that?
No, because I think, you know, I understand the double standard, but I think you also need to understand the man that you're with, the man that you chose and you're allowed to choose you, that you can't be so mine. You know what I mean? You have to open up within reason. I'm not saying going by no niggas, no Bentleys and doing dumb shit, but you gotta invest in y'all and y'all future, and you gotta let your man feel like a man in those scenarios. Because with all the money that you have, you know, you can end up by yourself. You know what I mean? Because at times that type of energy of it's mine. No, I'm just being honest as a man. I'm just giving you my honest. My honest opinion. Okay. As you continue to be like, it's mine, it's hard to hear someone say it's mine in a relationship that's supposed to be it's ours. Can I talk? And it's not about, hey, I got this 10 million, let me give you 5. It's not that. It's more so just knowing like, yo, we got each other, you know, whatever. Let's build, let's make it happen. But when you hear a person say mine a lot, that shit sticks. Believe me, I'm telling you.
Hang on. Okay, so you see, he is so jealous of that woman's money. He hates that he wasn't able to build that level of wealth for himself. Kandi, to me, is actually really beautiful. Sorry, guys, I had to run to get some mail. Long story. But Kandi, to me, she's actually really, really beautiful. I think she is in fantastic shape, all that stuff. She has a lot of these great qualities. But again, I do not think that Todd is genuinely attracted to her. I do not think that Todd, if he were the one with Kandi's money, I do not think that he would have chosen Kandi. Okay. And that is very, very apparent in the conversations that the two of them have, especially him. I just showed you guys how many videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. And not once in any of these videos have you seen Kandi be the one to bring up these conversations, to throw shade at Todd for not catering to her enough, for not making enough money. None of that stuff. It's constantly Todd looking for ways to shade Kandi, to talk down on Kandi. She never told him he's past his prime. She never came for him about how short he is, how big his head is, how little his hands and feet are. No, he's the one who is constantly coming for her. And it's like, why? All this woman has done, as far as I've seen, is love you and build you up. Granted, Kandi Burruss is not perfect. Cordell is not perfect by far. She's not perfect. She does have her faults. For example, I do believe that she allowed her mom to disrespect Todd way, way, way too much, right? We saw Mama Joyce come for Todd, his mother, and his dead father as well for years on that show. And Kandi just stood by and allowed it to happen and never put her mom in her place, right? So maybe that has something to do with some of these like shady feelings that Todd has towards her. However, I do think that his problem with her is mainly the fact that she's the successful one. She's the rich one in this relationship, and he's not. As a man, he feels emasculated by that. And that's why he keeps on trying to find ways to bring her down and to make her feel insecure and whatnot, right? Looks like y'all don't really feel bad for her. Kandi knew what she got. 2 snaps says people date and marry their hater. Exactly. You have to be really, really careful, you guys. You really, really do. It's sad, right, that it's the case, because you would think that people want to only date and marry people that they genuinely love and want to be with. But no, there are people who will date and marry people that they hate just so that they can bring you down, right? And so I do think that or profit off of you in some way, use you, right? So I do think that this is a case of that. Todd said, listen, I am not attracted to this woman. I am more attracted to her friend, Portia, but I will have to put up with her so that I can, get this money up and then find my ideal woman afterwards. Just saying. Milan says, Phaedra hates Kandi so much that she set them up together. She was not supposed to set up 2 short people with big heads. Jalisa, I'm so happy you're here, bro. I was just asking about you earlier. Like, where's my girl? We're going to talk about her show. Not her show, but, the topic that you've been wanting to talk about for a while. Right? And you got to really, really be careful. Keep one eye open at all times. And it's true. Like when you see this man with his little arms and his little hands talk about, I'd smash your friends. I'm sorry, Todd, but never in your freaking wildest dreams. I'm sorry. It's just absolutely freaking not. Like, I think he's like he looks smaller than my nephew. And my nephew's like 12 years old. Talking about, I'll smash. Who's trying to smash you? Like just this type of attitude is just so disgusting to me. And I cannot stand it. Right. So I feel for Kandi, but I really hope that this is a lesson. You have to be careful about dating and marrying down. And then on top of that, be careful about opening up your relationship, especially if you're only going to open it up in a way that favors the man, AKA we're only sleeping with women. We're only seeking sister wives. What about you? I listen, why don't you want another pogo stick or something like that, If he's not okay with that, then he's not actually okay with an open relationship. If he's not okay with that, then he's not actually okay with a threesome. He just wants everything to go his way. It's all about him. And so I really do not, I don't F with it. I really don't. I'm sorry. Just saying. And I agree, Sharjay. I hope he ends up like Denise Richards' ex-husband, Austin. Well, what's his name? The guy who's begging for her money. He's about to be homeless. Aaron. I hope he ends up like Aaron. Right now, this guy without Denise, he's got nothing. He's running to the courts. He says, I'm behind on all my bills. I've got nothing. I need access to Denise's money. Like, that's where Todd is going to be at. And he doesn't even realize it yet. That prenup was a really good prenup. Okay. So, and I think it's something that should be upheld in court. And so I'm just really hoping and praying that it is, and so I hope that Kandi comes out on the other side of this a lot better. Just saying. What do you guys see for the two of them post-divorce? How do you see? Well, first of all, let's talk about the divorce. How do you guys see this divorce playing out? Do you think it's going to be a contentious divorce? Is Todd leaving easily, accepting, the little he gets in this prenup? By the way, there were some things in that prenup that made me side-eye Kandi. For example, she said, if I die, you don't get my money. Girl, get the hell out of here. The fact that you would marry somebody, but you wouldn't want for them to get any money when you die, you're not taking money with you when you die, right? That's really weird. I would be put off by that, to be honest with you. Maybe you don't want him to have all of it, but the fact that you would not want for your husband, the father of your children, who builds a life with you over a decade plus or however long, right? Ideally a lifetime. When you're getting married, you're hoping it'll last a lifetime. The idea that you would want to leave a person with nothing, to me, it makes me question whether or not you actually love the person or whether or not you actually trust the person, because that is very, very cold and very, very strange. Just saying. But I really do hope she comes out of this on the other, better on the other side. Do you guys think that she'll be dating women from now on? Some people are saying that their threesome partner is somebody that Kandi is still seeing and sleeping with. So maybe she's going to be like Portia, now that Portia is being open about the fact that she likes ladies and she wants to date ladies and whatnot. Maybe that'll inspire Kandi to do it as well. I don't know. And you know what exactly, Princess? Todd is about to find that out real quick. I think Kandi's going to have an easier time dating than Todd will. Because again, no offense, shout out to my short kings, but no offense, but a 5'2" man with nothing to his name but some of his ex-wife's money is not exactly going to be like, a big hit in the dating streets, right? I think that Kandi's going to have an easier time than he will. Listen, don't have Faye be the divorce lawyer. Remember, she was trying to represent Sheree. Y'all remember what happened? And she was trying to represent Sheree against Sheree's ex-husband, Bob Whitfield. Bob Whitfield was representing himself. And guess who won between Phaedra the lawyer and Bob Whitfield? Bob Whitfield won. Because Phaedra couldn't even fill out the name correctly in the documents that she was filing. So please, Kandi, hire a real lawyer who wins cases, in my Cynthia voice. Shar says, yes, Denise even provided his parents with her former home. Exactly, right? So I really hope that this divorce is a wake-up call to Todd, that everything he had was because of Kandi. And when Kandi goes, that stuff goes with her. The gravy train stops here, Todd. Kandi's getting her back blown out properly. Yeah, exactly. And apparently it's by a lady. I forgot her name, Fatum. Her name is Fatum. Apparently she is with Fatum. So listen, we'll see how that goes, right? And you know what? She's been open about like being some level of bisexual for a while now. So I don't know if she's romantically or just like actually, but like maybe she is romantically, and we're going to watch the evolution of that. Good morning, Farah. How are you doing, boo? Farah, can I just say I'm so jealous. Guys, Farah lives in Hawaii. And so I'm so jealous. I'm looking out my window, dreary, cold, rainy, moldy, mildewy, messy. Just imagining what it would be like to live in Hawaii. Denisha says, I hope Kayla. Oh, yeah, don't forget about Todd's daughter. He wanted her to suffer while he lived in the lap of luxury. All right. I hope Kayla gets some of Kandi's money. Todd was so nasty to her. I hope Kandi spoils her. Same here. Same here. She's such a lovely, like, sweet, quiet girl. So it's sad for her, too. It's Latasha says he's not unattractive. Is he not? Okay. Well, listen, I wouldn't say he's ugly, but I wouldn't say he's attractive. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but like, I don't think he's attractive at all. But at the same time, all of this is very, very subjective. Maybe he'll do just fine, but I just don't think he will. But at the same time, some ladies are groupies. So maybe they like the Real Housewives, by proxy situation that he brings to the table, right? But between the two of them, Kandi to me is the better looking one. She is killing it in that red dress. And again, yeah, that personality is nasty. Talk about you need to be submissive. Kandi is running all these businesses, keeping you afloat, funding all these things that you want her to fund. And you want her to come home at the end of the day, cook for you, clean for you, do all this stuff, bang your brains out. What are you doing? You know, he never really talks about what he does and why he deserves that in turn. He just thinks that because she's a woman, this is what she needs to be doing. And I hate it, you know. And he actually also told a story, and it was like a very long clip. It was like 5 minutes long, so I'm not going to play that. But he tells this story, and it's obviously pointed at Kandi. He's like, you know, some women, they think because they make all this money, they don't need to cater to their man at home. Looks at Kandi. I had a girlfriend. She was so amazing. She used to cater to me. She used to work, then she'd come home and clean, and then she'd cook in her underwear. We'd have so much X. Baby, that is not the way it works. I'm sorry, but if the lady is working just like you're working, why does she have to come home and work some more while you sit around? You know what I mean? Like, get your money up if you really want a woman to do all that, so that you know, she'll have the desire and she'll have the time, you know, and the energy. But if she's out working, that girl was a fool. I'm sorry. If you're going to a full day of work, just like your man is going to a full day of work, and then you're coming home to clock in and work while he sits on his ass, expecting for you to cook, clean in your underwear, and then bone him, you are Boo-Boo the fool. Sorry. You are indoctrinated, truly, truly, truly brainwashed by the patriarchy if that's what you're doing. And guess how that paid off for her? Because Kandi and the friends were asking, oh, like, why didn't that work out then? Todd says, well, I had another situation, aka he cheated on her. So this girl was doing all this stuff, you know, running herself ragged to please you, her dusty short king. And what do you do to pay her back and to show your appreciation? You cheat on her. Embarrassing. And he didn't even have the sense to be embarrassed. Isn't that insane, you guys? And you're bragging about this situation. This is how women need to be, so that you could turn around and cheat. Get the hell out of here, Todd. Mama Joyce was right about you. You ain't ish. You just want to use and abuse women. That's what you want to do. You want to get the most out of women and give the least in return. That story was disgusting. How are you like 40 something and you don't even have like the sense to be like, no, let me not tell this. This is, you know, it makes me look bad. This is not going to encourage women to go do this pick me, you know, circus act and nonsense. Because if anything, that should show you shouldn't be doing all that for a man. Because he'll still, if he's trash, he'll still turn around and cheat on you anyway. A mess. So just exactly, you know, she did come on the show open about being bi and whatnot, but she is owning it a lot more ever since that breakup. Now, if only her ex-husband would own his situation. You know what? Hang on. We're not talking about the Housewives of Potomac. Don't get me in trouble. Gwen says, my high school ex-boyfriend was 5'1". We looked adorable together, but we were not straight. What? We're not straight? What? He moved to Cali and I'm loudly supportive. I love that. Listen, we love a double lavender relationship, girl. That's so cute. Farah, I would love to listen. If I'm ever around there, I'll give you a call. It sounds absolutely beautiful. Princess has different strokes for different folks. True. Well, you know what? Actually, I don't know. Princess doing all that. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, why do you think that that's normal for you to be doing all that, right? For nothing in return. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know if it's different strokes or if it's brainwashing. Snap says, Natalie tried to warn Kandi. Exactly. Oh, Natalie, the one where they laughed her off the show and everything. Everybody tried to warn Kandi. That poor girl. She really believed in him. And this is why they're exactly. Women have woken up. The jig is up. The jig is up for men like Todd. You know, be an equal partner. Financially, emotionally, physically, all that stuff. Be an equal partner. If you want to pull a woman today, it's not enough to just be a man anymore. He is. Let me know if I lied, Kelly, but I don't think I did. He really did. And he's about to find out. He's cocky now, but that prenup sounded really strict. So I don't think he's going to be walking away with as much as he thinks he's walking away with. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he waited over 10 years to divorce her either. Acacia says, after dealing with little man syndrome, Kandi probably won't date men. Yeah, listen, and I wouldn't blame her. Kandi, go ahead, claim your girlfriend, alleged girlfriend, Fatum, and live happily ever after. You don't need this man. This man was hating on you from the beginning. It's so sad how, as a woman, you always have to shrink yourself in some capacity, or, you know, a man will be jealous of you. Very, very sad. Now, you guys, why don't we get into a recap of last night's episode of 90 Day Fiance, the other way. Guys, I really like the show, actually. There's so much going on with all of these couples, and it's really enjoyable to witness. And I love goats. So how fun was it to see so many goats in this particular episode? So there's Manon, who comes from Marseille in the south of France, and she is with her husband, Anthony. They just moved there. And they're currently living at her parents' home. And so they want to buy a house and stuff, but they're struggling to agree on where to buy and whatnot, right? And so they've been at each other's throats and whatnot. And so her husband, Anthony, decides to plan a thoughtful date for the two of them to reconnect. At least that's what he passed it off as, right? So he says that they're going to be tasting goat cheese. So Manon, she gets all dressed up. Hang on, let me pull up her dress. She wears like this blazer dress. She brings her YSL purse. She wears her heels just for this man to bring her to a goat farm. He wanted for her to milk goats with him, all that stuff, explore the barn and whatnot. And he watched her get dressed, put on a beautiful dress, put on some heels, right? Bring out a designer bag just to bring her to a goat farm. And then, of course, she was complaining and whatnot, right? But, and then people were hating on her online. And I'm like, dude, her husband promised her a date for them to reconnect. He knew that he was going to take her to a farm to go and milk some damn goats, right? And he watched her as she got dressed in a dress, in heels, put her makeup on, and carried a designer bag. He could have told her, hey, we're going to do like this fun activity at a farm, right? So she could at least be comfortable, but he chose not to. This is shady. These guys, they do a lot of these shady, weird things to these women. And then the women, when they rightfully complain that they're put in a really crappy situation that they were not prepared for or that they were not promised, they get in trouble and called difficult and all these other things. And I just don't get why time and time again, these men can get away with this sort of behavior. It's infuriating to me to watch people fall for this stuff every single season. So anyway, now we're in India with Sumit and Jenny, and they're still running their cafe. It's officially open now. And then Sumit has a friend of his who is a massive undercover hater named Rohit, who comes over to visit the cafe and whatnot. And he just criticizes everything, right? He doesn't like anything about the cafe. He says the coffee is too expensive. Mind you, the coffee starts at 82 cents and a large is $1.05. He's saying that is too expensive, right? And he's like, oh, like, this isn't a real cafe. Your parents are cooking. There's, in real restaurants and cafes, like they hire real blah, blah, blah. It's not family run. Really? Like you've never heard of a mom and pop restaurant and whatnot? Like this is just somebody who came to put their evil eye on you, your business, and your future, and to just hate on everything and put a bunch of doubt in your head. He didn't say a single encouraging, positive thing to Sumit. Then we saw another customer come to the stand or the cafe while the two of them are discussing and everything. And Sumit is really proud of that. And he's showing it to his friend. And his friend's like, yeah, that's just one person. It's not going to succeed. Like, he didn't even take a breath and a beat to congratulate him and say, wow, like, the place has just been open for like 3 days at this point, And so I do see why Sumit did not invite this guy to the grand opening. He says he doesn't understand why, but just watching this scene, I understood very clearly. I think that Sumit knows that Ramit is a hater and he didn't want that energy at his grand opening, right? In which case, good for him. You gotta, listen, you gotta pay attention, take note to the type of energy that people are giving. Sometimes there are people like that in life who want to be around you or whatnot, but they're low-key hating on what you got going on and want to put doubt and stuff into your mind. So keep your eye open. Stay weary of the evil eye because it is out there and it is closer than you think, right? Now in Colombia, I don't understand. First of all, y'all already know. If you watch my videos on this couple, Luke and Madeline, I can't stand Luke. I think he's a predator. I think he's a creep. I think he's the epitome of a passport bro. I can't stand him. So I just do not understand why he is running to the bank to move money around and take thousands of dollars that he can't afford to lose to buy his child bride a designer dog. She already has a designer dog. And he already sees and says that she doesn't really take good care of the other dog. So why go and get her another one, right? This couple just gives me the absolute creeps. I feel badly for her. I know she's a spoiled brat and whatnot, but I support her in this relationship because I do think that she was groomed by a total creep. And we'll get into more on that later, but I do not understand. This guy is really stupid with his money. There was a time where he was earning so much. He was living like a king in Colombia and everything, right? But the way that he spent is just too extreme to the point where he's managed to go broke even in Colombia, absolutely insane, and he's already gone broke, but he's still out here spending a crazy amount of money on his child bride. I do not get it, y'all. I do not get it. Let's see what y'all have to say about it so far before I get to the rest. And exactly fair. Mom and pop restaurants are amazing. Who doesn't love a good home cooked meal? And period, JB, it's sad, but it's true. Like some people close to you, they might even be family members sometimes. I don't know, but they will have the evil eye on you. So be careful. Kahara says, I hate to root for a man, but I feel sorry for him because the girl is doing the most and he's paying for everything. That's why he's broke. Listen, he deserves it. He deserves to be worse than broke. He deserves to be in jail. He's based on what they've said about the timeline of this relationship, he started dating her when she was underage. So I really do hope that she takes even his last, not even just his last dollar, but his last penny. He deserves everything that this girl dishes out to him, because men like him who go to these underdeveloped countries seeking young girls who could potentially be underage, they are doing that with the intent of taking advantage of these girls. And so when these girls flip the script and they're the ones with the control in this relationship and they're the ones running these men ragged, I give them a standing ovation. You thought getting a child bride in Colombia would have you, living like a king, her begging, screaming, crying, throwing up to be with you? No, this girl, she's not dating you for free, boo. Give it up. And I love it. I love it. Gwen says, I'm slightly lucky. I have a mom that hates me. What? And the people I love, doing the opposite of her. Oh, Jesus, Gwen, I'm so sorry. Jesus. Doing the opposite of her advice has given me some amazing gains in life. Listen, it's nice to have a good level of positive perspective and spin on things. Oh my God. At first I was like, what am I reading? Kahara says, I missed this week's episode. I didn't know the age of the girl when they got together. Yeah, she was so young. So when they first introduced the couple on the other season, she was 18. How convenient, right? And they said they were already engaged at this point. And they said that they had been dating for like 2-ish years. Underage. And this man is 30 now, like 31. I hope he files for bankruptcy. And that's the thing. And a lot of these countries, they don't have laws to protect these children, right? So that's why you see a lot of these creepy American and European men going to places like Colombia, places like the Dominican Republic, places like Thailand to creep on children because they're not protected over there. And, that's something that I hate about this couple is that TLC almost normalizes this by putting this couple on the screen, So yeah, I am always going to root for Madeline. And in fact, I actually think she could be even meaner to him. And I hope she becomes even meaner to him because he deserves everything he's getting. The in my opinion, predator that he is. Just saying. Now let's get back to Anthony and Manon. So they're over there at the farm. And again, they're in Marseille in the south of France. If you know, you know. And so after having her explore this goat farm in the most uncomfortable outfit ever, she's slipping and sliding on the mud in her heels. Again, they live in the same house. He saw her getting dressed and talk about how excited she was to do a cheese tasting and whatnot, right? And he knew he was taking her to a damn farm. He had her come dressed like this, right? And then he decides to spring it on her that he wants to open up a goat farm like this. Mind you, yes, they have money from the sale of their home in the United States. However, they do not have money coming in. And it's not likely, in Manon's opinion, that he's going to be able to make a lot of money in France. So the idea that they would take all their savings and put it into a goat farm that this man knows nothing about, right? Like, it's just absolutely insane. And so she just is kind of shocked by all of this, which, of course, I feel like anybody would be shocked by this. And the conversation doesn't exactly go the way that Anthony wants for it to go, right? Which I think is normal. And so at this point, I actually was quite happy. Listen, in my last recap of The Other Way, 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, I told you guys I found Manon to be scarily aggressive. She can like flip her mood like at the drop of a dime and goes through fits of extreme rage, right? So I'm not a Manon sympathizer or lover or anything like that. In fact, I am quite critical of her. However, in this episode, she's 100% correct. She would have been a better sport about this goat thing if he had told her so that she could dress appropriately. And on top of that, he told her that he was planning a date for the two of them to connect and this and that. Meanwhile, no, that's not what this was. This was him planning a plot, a scheme to try and get her to use their savings to open up a goat farm. None of this was about her or what she would want. All of this was about him and what he would want, right? But because he's got this lost puppy disposition, similar to Tom Schwartz, who's another demon from Vanderpump Rules, people will look at this and say, she's this, she's that, she's so mean, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the guy's the one being shady, in this particular situation. So I was happy when she let him have it. And I was really glad that she didn't do it in this like psychotic, like aggressive way that she typically communicates with. So next up, there's this couple I just cannot stand. Chloe, she's this American girl and she's dating a pirate who lives in Aruba and makes no money, right? So when her mom, aka her sugar mama, comes down and she has to give this loser a credit card so he could buy them some cocktails. I'm like, girl, like, why are you packing up your life in America to go and live with this man who can't even afford to buy you a cocktail? Why would you do that? Like, this man is not the man that you build your life around. And he couldn't care any less. Like, he's chill. He's happy the way he is because he knows he's going to be living off of this girl and her mom, right? He felt the heaviness of that like Amex card. And he said he's never leaving. He's probably going to knock this chick up ASAP, right? Knowing that the mom's going to pay for it. So that's the card that she's handing him. To me, that would give me the ultimate ick. Because what do you mean my mom has to buy us cocktails? Because my man, who's, by the way, like 11 years older than me, doesn't even have like $20 to his name. What? Like, what? Like, it just does not compute to me. God bless the struggle of girlies, because I just do not understand how you do it. Like, ew, and I'm ew, like, really? Like, I can't be attracted to that. I really cannot. Like, that's just so sad. Like, wouldn't it be better to just be single, make your money, and then find, another guy with a stable life and a stable job, maybe even in Aruba if you want to stay there? I think that is the major kind of thing that attracts her to that area, or to that relationship, I should say. But it's just not worth it. Like, yeah, it looks like paradise, but who wants to be like poor in paradise where you could at least have money in somewhere else? I don't get it. Anyway, by the way, she talks to her mother about like this guy and how he cheated on her early into their relationship. He went to Miami and all that. And I'm like, really? Not you sticking with a brokey who cheats on you. Girl, get your self-esteem up off the floor. This is so sad for you. Like, what are you doing, Boom. Yeah, so he was like, I think 28, 29 when she was like 17, 18. So I'm sorry. Now he's like 31 and she's like, I don't know, 19 or something like that, 20. Like, I don't like it at all. K-Car says, oh, hey, boo, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. I can't even watch Luke and Madeline scenes. It just feels gross. He needs to be on a list. I agree. It's watching a guy, like a man. That's why I call her a child bride. She quite literally is a child bride. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels so wrong. Like, this is not normal. This is wrong. I don't understand why it's on my TV screen. And so this is why I have to trash him as much as possible, because he is pure trash for what he did to this child. Just disgusting. It really, really is disgusting. Gwen says, know who loves you and know who hates you. Move accordingly. Exactly. Keep your eyes peeled, y'all. A true weirdo, and it is trash that he's even allowed to be on television. This stuff should not be on television. They even had couples with even worse age gaps. They were like, do you guys remember Curliam and Adam? Wasn't he like, it was a similar age gap, but then there's another one where the guy was like 50, 60 with an 18-year-old, 18, who's probably started when she was under 18. Like, there are just so many disgusting, weird couples on 90 Day Fiance that I don't think they should have put on TV, right? Sorry, I was just reading 2 snaps as comment with my, hang on, where is it? I have to show off my tuck. Oh Lord, let's Tobe, don't even get me started. 2 snaps. Acacia says, "Random Grace, did you see the TikTok of the lady in Paris that had to walk up flights of stairs in public to get to her apartment?" No, I didn't. How many flights of stairs? Because the buildings usually aren't that tall. I think even 6 floors is typically like considered tall for a building here. You know what's funny? Speaking of that, like I keep telling you guys, my neighbor here has an Airbnb, and so now last night when I came home from my movie, like around 11:30 p.m. I'm hearing this like American family. They're like walking up the stairs, like, oh my God, these stairs are killing me, guys. I'm on like, listen, I don't know who's crazy out there. So I don't want to say what exact floor, but it's less than the 4th floor. Okay. Like, really? These stairs are killing you? You walked up like a flight of stairs? So please tell me how many flights of stairs this girl walked up. Kiki says, Kiki, this ain't no Kiki. This is Star. Star, we were talking about you yesterday and how you resemble so many people and how it's similar to my brother. I always feel like everybody, no, we talked about you on Monday actually, and how I feel like everybody looks like him. A scheme set up by Todd, indeed. I'm telling you. Kahara says, "Damn, Tom catching strays." It's true. He got away with abusing Katie for like 10, 11 years because he had the, oh, shucks, I accidentally cheated on you. I accidentally, spilled a drink on your head, all that stuff. I hated it so much. I'm glad to be a day one Tom Schwartz hater. Granted, I did fall for Sandoval and I did think he was a great person, but I was always a day one Schwartz hater. Exactly. That's what he deserves, because what was that? You know what I mean? What was that? It was so rude of him. And then and then to try and like pass it off as, oh, this is a date I did for both of us so we can connect. No, it's not. Be honest, right? Be honest. Shar says it's obvious it's about the exchange when they're much older. Exactly. So this is why I will never feel bad for Luke when Madeline runs his pocket and leaves him broke and destitute. I say he deserves it for what he did to this girl. And, apparently, and I did a video about this yesterday, but apparently he's got a new girlfriend as well. And, if you look at the pictures of her, she looks to be about the same age as Madeline. So it seems like he's got a pattern, right? He keeps getting older, but these girls are staying in the barely legal, if even legal, age range. And so screw him. And let's get into, speaking of him and how I love her dragging him. She almost kind of reminds me of Anfisa. And y'all know I always loved Anfisa. And I tell this story every time because it's so funny to me, but people used to send me DEATH threats because I was always riding for Anfisa. Because what do you mean you went and sought out a Russian girl who was out of your league, told her you were rich, then brought her to America under this pretense and started calling her a gold digger and trying to get out of spending all this money on her like you promised. You know what I mean? Like, I was always team Anfisa and I will forever be team Anfisa. Just like I'm team Madeline. Is she like bratty and this and that? Yeah, but at the same time, screw this guy. I was so happy. So they're going on a road trip to go to the place where they're getting married, right? And so he's got like all these bags and stuff. He's trying to ask her to help him with them. She's like, no, why would I have a man if I'm going to have to like load stuff in the car? That's what you are for. I said, you know what, girl, go ahead. Do I live by these rules and this and that? No, I don't. Right. But I'm not being groomed. You know what I mean? I'm not. Thank God. Right. The way that this girl allegedly, in my personal opinion, was. So if she wants to be this way, she could be this way. Go ahead, girl. Give him hell. It was so freaking, she refused to help him. She wouldn't even open the door. She said, no, you can open that door on your own. I'm not doing anything. You're a man. Oh, it made me laugh so freaking hard. And so he's also complaining that she doesn't cook or clean. She just spends his money, right? She's like, I have to pay for everything. You don't even cook or clean. Good. Do like, oh my God, he wants to be sympathetic so bad, but you are not sympathetic when you're running around to these countries looking for these barely legal people, if even legal, and trying to marry them and whatnot. Like, get out of here. And so she says, listen, by the way, paying my bills is the bare minimum that you should be doing as a man. Absolutely insane. And so he tries to threaten her that he's going to leave her. So she says, okay, if you don't like the way that I am, then leave. There's the door. Bye. Good. Because again, when this man went to Colombia, to seek out a really, really young girl to make his child bride, he thought that he would have the upper hand. He thought that he could play mind games with her and all this stuff, but he messed with the right one. She's not having that, and I love that for her. I really, really do. Caramel says, morning peeps, Danish Diaries, the self-hatred and desperation. Listen, I made this video for my channel members yesterday and I actually had to refilm it because I was like, you know what? I gave too much information. I have a girl in my circle, and it's not a financial, but it's similar to this Danish Diaries dynamics where she's letting a man of a particular, run her to the ground. And I'm always wondering, I'm like, would you let a black man treat you like this, girl? Anyway, I said, listen, I said too much. Let me go refilm this and how I feel about it. Because it's really, really sad to see, to see black girls like that. It really, really is. Star says, we don't walk up steps. I'm telling you, even when I had like some of my friends here, like getting out of the metro, you have like maybe 12 steps to climb to get out. They'll be like, oh my God, there's stairs. I'm like, it's 12 stairs. Get your ass up those stairs, and it's good for you. You do exercise without even having to go to the gym. It's just like a natural thing. And a lot of people don't like to go to the gym or struggle to find time to go to the gym. So the fact that this is just like a natural part of daily life, like stairs to your apartment, stairs up and down the metro, all that stuff, like it's amazing. For free. Ali says, that was walking up the stairs through the woods to grandma's house we go, and then maybe that poor girl would make it to her apartment. Really? What was it, like une chambre de bain, un truc comme ça? Because sometimes they have these. Did you guys watch A Little Princess, that movie? And then there was like the black man who lived on the very, very top, like that type of like setup. Was it like one of those types of things where it's like a studio apartment, your bathroom's in the hallway, like that sort of a thing? That's the vibe it's giving me. They used to call it like maid apartments, I guess they would call it. Like that's the vibe I'm getting from this type of apartment. I'll have to look it up because I have no clue. Cami says, I'll see you later. We'll see you later, Cami. Thanks for joining us again today. Enjoy the rest of your day. And exactly, 2 snaps. They're growing. They're kids. They're kids. Why would I criticize a literal teenager for being bratty? The man is 30 years old. 31 years old. He has no business being engaged to a teenager. He is a creep. Bye, Latasha. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for being here, boo. And happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I know y'all are going to be busy. Should I do a morning report tomorrow as well? Or you guys are going to be too busy with your Thanksgiving dinners? I forgot. I should have asked you guys earlier, but y'all let me know if you'll be around. And Farrah says, yep, take him for everything, period. And then some. Do not leave him with even a crumb of bread under his fridge. Take it all. Yes. And Fisa stands right here. I love her. Love her. 2 snaps. Pick me behavior, period. And it makes me really, really sad. Because again, sometimes these girls would never accept this from a man of their own race. But because the man's of a different race, they're gonna allow these men to treat them like crap. Just saying. I don't like that. I don't. NYC has walk-ups. It's not different. You see, and look at the people in NYC. Listen, this type of stuff keeps you young, keeps you fit, keeps you healthy. When I lived in Paris, I never had to worry about what I ate because I was always moving. Exactly. Didn't need to go to the gym. Exactly. And you know that the quality of the food is already so good as well. Speaking of, listen, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. All I've been doing is I drank a cappuccino and I drank some tea. And that's about it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run to Peak Out, grab something quick. I'm feeling lazy because I do have to go to the gym. I'm doing a spin class tonight. Then I'm going to finally be able to go to the sauna over there. So it looks like you guys will be around tomorrow. Okay, good. I'm happy about that. Oh, I'm glad that you guys are going to be here. So I will be doing my morning report again tomorrow as well. All right, you guys. Ooh, yes, to be joining y'all while you're cooking. Please. I wish you guys could upload photos into the chat because I want to see you guys' food, man. Please. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for joining me for another episode of the Gwen. I got you, boo. I'll be here of the morning report. I'm so happy. We had a really good time chatting today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we get into tomorrow and to hearing about how you guys are celebrating your Thanksgiving holidays. And if you're not going to be here, happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you on Friday. Okay, take good care, you guys. And if you enjoyed today's episode of the show, please don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Bye now. See ya. Happy